Hey Crestwood, how you guys doing today? Hope you all are doing well this week, enjoying the blessings that God has for you and persevering through the challenges, knowing that God is with you as you go through them. We are blessed in so many ways, and I hope you've had a chance to pause and just give thanks for that in the midst of this week. I'm honored to be with you and to bring you this devotional for this Wednesday, September 27th. Today I'm thinking about soil. So when I was in seminary, I was associate pastor at a church in rural Indiana, and I remember going to visit one of our congregation members who was a farmer, and he kind of gave me a tour of his farm, showed me around, and we went out to the field to look at the crops he was growing, and I remarked just how amazing it was that he was able to grow, these lush crops and harvest them and continue to do that year after year. And he says, well, Kory, the truth is farmers don't grow crops, they grow soil. And what he meant by that is that a farmer, when they're planting the field, when they're tilling it, when they're doing all the work that they have to do, when they're letting it lay fallow, they're not just preparing for this year's crops, they're preparing for the crops next year and the year after and the year after. They're preparing the soil to be fruitful for a long time to come, not just for that one particular year. And I love that foresight. I love that long-range vision that these farmers had. It reminds me of the parable where the guy has this bumper crop and he builds all these barns to hold it because he wants to keep it. And God comes to him and says, you fool, your very life is demanded of you tonight. Why are you saving all for yourself? You need to be paying it forward to those who need it. You need to be thinking about the future. And that story and that parable came to my mind as we enter into our stewardship campaign this year. Our theme is committed, the idea that we are committed to supporting the work that God is doing through Crestwood. The scripture passage is Hebrews 1 about how faith is assurance in things that are not seen. When the farmer's preparing the soil, he doesn't see the crop that's going to grow, but he trusts that the soil will produce that crop. What we're doing here at Crestwood, when we give to God's work through the ministries at Crestwood, we're not just giving for what we're doing today, we're giving for what Crestwood will be doing well into the future. I'm so excited about the future of this church. I'm so excited about all the young families we see, all the kids that we see, all the youth that are participating, all the older adults who are involved and contributing and sharing their wisdom and sharing their gifts. This truly is an intergenerational church, and I'm so excited about that. And so when we give, we're not just supporting what we're doing now, we are tilling the soil for what this church will be in the future. We are preparing the ministries. We are paving the way so that these kids and these youth and these folks, as they grow up, they will continue to be vital and important parts of the church, just as our older adults are vital and important parts of the church right now. Everybody matters here at Crestwood. Everybody's gift is important to contributing what we are building here, to the soil that we are tilling so that Crestwood remains fruitful well into the future. I believe God has such great plans for us. I'm so excited to see what those plans are, to help this church live those plans out. And we continue to do that work of preparing by what we give, because what we give makes a difference. It makes a difference in our community, and we heard about that with Tanya Torp talking with us about step-by-step ministry this past Sunday, and the dozens of organizations that we work with locally, nationally, globally to support God's work in this world. We are making a difference now. But we're also making a difference for the future. We're making a difference for the people who are coming to Crestwood who haven't even been here yet, for the harvest, for the crop that will grow through those folks who have yet to even worship with us. But they're coming because we trust that God is telling us that. Our job is simply to till the soil. Our job is to prepare this church to be as fruitful as possible for all that God has planned for us into the future. And that starts now with your gift. So as you contemplate what God is calling you to do this year when it comes to stewardship, I want you to think about not just the amazing things we're doing now. I want you to think about what God is calling us to do in the future. I want you to envision a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road. What's Crestwood going to look like? How are we going to be changing lives? Who are we going to be leading to follow Christ? Who are we going to be discipling into a life of faith? Some of those folks we don't even know yet. They haven't even come here yet, but they're going to come. And we have to be prepared. We have to make sure the soil is ready to receive the seeds that God is going to sow so that we can help them grow and be fruitful. Crestwood, I know we have such an exciting future ahead. I cannot wait to see how God is going to use us this little church on the corner of Glendover and Belafonte and Lexington, how God is going to use us to change this world, to change people's lives through the ways that we are committed to serving God. I want you to consider that when you consider your gift, Crestwood. Give in a way that tills the soil, not just for today, but for the future. I appreciate how generous you are, and I'm so excited to see what God has planned for us. God bless you, Crestwood.